Hi Year 11, this is your first lesson now, pre-recorded lesson. If you remember last lesson we were doing the circumference of a circle, which I'm going to recap with you briefly at the beginning, and then we're going to move on to the perimeter of a semicircle. So from last lesson you will hopefully remember that there were two different formulas for the circumference of the circle. You could either use 2 times pi times r, 2 pi r, or alternatively it was pi d, which is pi times d, or pi times the diameter. The example at the bottom of the page, hopefully you'll be able to see that I have marked in a radius there of 6.4 centimetres. As I've got the radius, I'm going to use my radius formula. So I'm going to use the circumference is 2 times pi times r. So I've got 2 times pi times 6.4. Type in that directly into the calculator. Hopefully you'll get the answer 40.21238597. And then as you can see at the bottom, I've rounded this to 2 decimal places, 40.21 centimetres. So that was last lesson's work. Have another look in your book if you need to recap that, because we're going to be using that now in the next part of the lesson. So the area around the outside of a semicircle, or the perimeter of the semicircle, I've highlighted in yellow the curved part, because if we use the formula for the area of a whole circle and divide it by 2, we will just have this part that I've marked here in yellow, not the complete perimeter of the whole semicircle. The whole semicircle, we would need to include the length that I've marked in blue. So first off, the length of the curved surface then, the formula for the area of a full circle was pi d, I'm using here, if you've noticed, because I've got the diameter of the circle. I've got the diameter of the circle, the distance right across the centre from one side to the other, so I'm using the pi d formula. I've divided here by 2 because it's only half the circle we've got, just the semicircle, the curved part in yellow. So we've got pi times 14, all divided by 2, gives you 21.99114858. To complete the task then, to work out the perimeter of the semicircle, or the distance all the way around, I then added 14 onto this answer, because the diameter across the bottom is 14 centimetres long. I then rounded the answer accordingly to 2 decimal places. And the second example we've got here now, the difference being I have given you the radius of this circle. The previous question had the diameter, so it had all the way across. This is the distance from the centre of the circle to the circumference. This is just the radius, so I'm going to use the radius circumference formula, 2 times pi times r. The length of the curved part, marked again in yellow, 2 times pi times the radius, so that's 2 times pi times 6.2, but now dividing it all by 2 again, because we only want half the circumference. This gives you the answer 19.477874445. And this time, to complete the question, to give us the perimeter of the semicircle, we are not just going to add the 6.2, because that's the distance along half the bottom part, the horizontal distance there. As we want to go all the way across the horizontal distance, we are doing 2 times 6.2. Alternatively, you could have doubled the 6.2 to give you 12.4 and added that to your previous answer, which gives you final answer of 31.87787445, which I've rounded to 2 dp, noting that I've had to increase the 7 to an 8 because there's a 7 that follows. I would now like you to please have a go at the assignment or the exercise I've set. I've given you 4 questions where I would like you now to please find the area around the outside of those semicircles. Try your best, Year 11, take care, and we'll go through any problems when you get back into school. Bye.